What's good, man? It's your boy, Bolo. I just wanted to drop this video and just give y'all an update on how I'm feeling about the content I've made over the past couple of years. How I feel like I'm making the content right now and how I want to kind of start going with not a different approach, but a different way that y'all intake it. You know what I'm saying? So this should be me, talking or whatever about that. First of all, man, I want to give a big shout out to obviously my mom, my dad, my sisters and my close family members and friends that I've known for 4 years, 5, 10 years. I ain't got too many of those that's been with me that watch the content and get a laugh off of it. You know what I mean? That watch some of my lives. My channel was built off of shorts. I got more shorts than any fucking thing. But they get a laugh off of that. Actually get information and get introduced to new topics that they might be interested in just because I talked about it and they didn't even know I was interested in it, let alone when you do research, it's like, oh, he's actually talking about this thing and I didn't know what this thing was about, shit like that. Shout out to all the people who aren't content creators, who watch my videos and kind of give me just that. I don't know what to call it. I wouldn't call it confidence or nothing, but people watching your shit let you know that you're doing something right. Right? So shout out to everybody for that, right? And shout out this nigga, man, this nigga crazy. I wasn't lying to you, nigga, but shout out to Queso Big Dipper specifically because he's been probably one of the only YouTubers I keep in contact with throughout this journey of me doing it. And he'll check me on shit. You know what I mean? He'll check me on a lot of shit. He'll say, look, he'll say this like, nigga, I know you ain't gonna listen to it, but you got the research. I know you ain't gonna listen to me, so go listen to somebody else, But it's just like you get caught up in this stage of when you feel like you figured something out, you don't want to hear what the fuck somebody else got to say. So it's the channel gonna grow how it's gonna grow, right? But with me being honestly being in jail and getting out and appreciating the shit more, I want to take it a lot more serious. I want my fans, the fans that I do have, the 7,200 subscribers, to actually get a better experience with this shit. You know what I mean? And I want to serve the algorithm well because we all, kind of competitively wanted to be on the top of the top when it comes to the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give a special shout out to Queso Big Dipper, man. I go to his page, talks a lot about the UK rap, talks a lot about that scene over there and how it kind of correlates with US and how it's a cultural barrier when it comes to like just how they sound, like how they say words differently and shit like that. He talks about other subjects as well, but that is his main concern over there. And it's very interesting to see outside of me talking to him and shit, just watching this channel was very interesting to see somebody actually do research on this shit, right? And that's what I got to start doing more of. I built this channel off of, educated guesses. I built this channel of how I feel about certain shit. But this is why I'm making this video now because I want my channel to be more of an experience and less of like, trendy topic shit. Even though it's that, you still can find ways to actually make that shit stick. You know what I mean? And not just come off as this is how I feel. This is what might can happen. You know what I mean? Because I was chopping it up with him and shit like that. And one of the biggest things he was saying to me, other than me thinking I was lying to him about certain shit, he was talking about that. I wasn't, nigga. I wasn't. But it was the algorithm. It was doing research on how to actually make your channel like grow. You know what I mean? And be more digestible for people. You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. And so for me to, actually take that advice, within the next month or two, my channel could blow up. And so I appreciate him for that. And I appreciate everybody else too. You know, people on TikTok have reached out to me. People on Instagram have reached out to me, stuff like that. Um, but it's just been like, hey, I see you type shit, and not like advice, not like hour long, 30-minute conversations of like, this is what you need to focus on. This is what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? On top of me being on probation, like I am done with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to get in trouble no more. I'm not trying to fail no more tests no more. I'm not trying to do anything to jeopardize my future and put it in the hands of somebody who I don't even know who the fuck they are. You know, I don't. My future lies on the fact of how this judge feels that day, or how the DA feels, or how my probation officer feels, or how the magistrate feels. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, but fortunately, I think that that is the factor that's making me like go from just like kind of just recording shit and hoping for the best to actually knowing how to attack this YouTube shit. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I think everybody, not just on YouTube, but all platforms, Facebook, you know, Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that, you know, go through this stage of like, all right, do I want to continue to get the same results because I'm doing the same shit? Or do I actually want to see each video specifically do what I know it can do and not just try to chance it and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? I think one of my biggest things is, you know, I don't put a lot of shit in descriptions. I don't put a lot of hashtags. When some of my videos do, I don't put none in the tags. I don't uh, share it enough. You know, just kind of hope for the best or whatever. But specifically with this video, I'll be trying to do that. You know what I mean? And hopefully people watch this video and kind of get the message of what I'm saying. Like basically, I want to make the quality of my content better. You know, by doing more research. Not to say that I don't do research, but actually it being factual rather than people agreeing with me because they agree with how I feel. You know, it'll be based on more facts, and not to say that I was lying about shit, but you know, you gotta have a conversation with somebody. You give them advice. It's more of that. It's more of that. What I'm feeling educated against, and some of it might be right, more so than not, but it'll be absolute if I just crack down on it and actually, you know, do even more research than what I've done. You know, I'll do that skim over research and be like, all right, boom, I got that. Let me take this information, put Bolo on it, and then give it to y'all. But it'll be a lot more facts in my videos and research and shit like that, and not just me hoping that y'all feel where I'm coming from. Because those videos do good too. Not to say that they don't, not to say that I've been lying, but I'm giving you my opinion. I'm giving you my my outlook on my personal experiences with these subjects and these topics that I've chose over the last 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, man, shout out to all my family and friends who've been sharing my videos, watching my videos. Shout out to all the people who aren't content creators who just watch my videos on my lives and stuff like that. And shout out specifically the case of Big Dipper. And Mickey Fax as well. You know, that's like the only person in the industry that has responded to me. You know what I'm saying? We talked on Facebook. You know, he'll like my shit on Instagram, stuff like that. So shout out to Mickey Fax. I don't know the whole battle. I just know him for looking out for me and shouting me out on my album and showing me love and trying to work with me when I reached out to him. You know, so I reached out to him. You know what I'm saying? And he actually reached back and we have conversations here and there when he has time. You know what I'm saying? Those are like the only two people that I can think of. Everybody else has been like in the comment section and stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm looking out for you, like Chance the Rapper's brother, Cuban Link. Um, just, I've had. I know people are watching, so now you know this video specifically is to let y'all know it'll be another shift in it. You know what I'm saying? The first shift was me going from looking like I was, you know, crazy woo 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 to kind of calming it down a little bit more clean, and now to be another step forward into just taking the content creation more serious. And who don't want a motherfucker to get paid off this shit? You know what I'm saying? I want to get paid off this shit. You know, I take a lot of time to to do the things, uploads, choose the topics, read articles, talk to my mom about how she feel about what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Talk to my sisters and stuff, talk to my family about what I'm doing. And, at the end of it, it's more just about pushing it. You know what I mean? No one's going to know how serious you take this shit until they actually see the passion. You know what I'm saying? And so, shout out to everybody. In case I got you. I'm doing more research. I'm going to be, taking this shit more serious. And anyone else who sees potential in me, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, the whole experience of being in jail for 2 weeks, I almost like getting evicted, almost like losing my car, lost my job, stuff like that. It always is comforting to bounce back with the content. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I don't get paid off the content, but I could have been getting paid way more within this last year. If I would have been knowledgeable about the things that I know now, then I probably would have been got, $2,000, $3,000, $1,000 a month off this shit. You know what I'm saying? And the goal ain't to get paid more. You're only going to get paid more once you start actually feeding into why you should get paid anyway in the first place. Why 1 cent, $1, $10 should be coming to you anyway, outside of people donating and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that was the one thing that I didn't want this channel to turn into, was like, hey, donate, because you rarely hear me ask it. I do ask it every now and again, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, you can watch. I got like 5,100 videos. There's only maybe like 10 videos, if that, of me literally it coming out my mouth like, hey, if you want to donate to the channel, whatever. So I didn't want it to turn into a channel where it's like I'm panhandling, a digital panhandler, you know what I'm saying? But I end the video right here. I just wanted to post this video and let y'all know I be taking this shit a lot more serious, you know what I mean? Because if I've been doing this for so long, regardless if I had a job, if I'm investing in certain things and I'm getting residuals off of it, this should be something else I'm also getting paid off for, residuals and stuff like that. And people ain't gonna take you seriously. You take yourself seriously until they see a change. You know what I'm saying? So this video is putting pressure on myself, putting pressure on my fans, my subscribers. Y'all call me out on some shit, man. If y'all feel like, hey, look, this could be better, then I'm gonna make it better. If y'all like certain content, in a certain niche that I'm doing, then yeah, let's do that. You know what I mean? But Bolo in this bitch. I'm out. Y'all look out for that new song I'm dropping. More content. I'll be doing short still, but it'll be more strategic and less of me just dropping in like expecting or hoping or feeling like I should, or having that weird entitlement because you had a couple of videos that did 20, 30,000 views, 2, 3,000 views. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to it, man. Bolo out in this bitch. You know what it is. Watch out for them shots, man.